Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews, and today we're going to be ranking all 4 Hunger Games movies. Now, I got all 4 of them a few weeks back. You probably saw that in my December haul, I think it was. So, I watched all 4 of them, I liked them, so I'm going to rank them. This is Max Reviews, I'm Brayden, and this is my first time watching them. Just to keep in mind, coming in 4th place is going to be Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Now, this is easily the worst for me because in this movie, our characters don't do much in it. So if you haven't seen the Hunger Games, this is one probably to skip. It seems, even though seems pretty relevant. Most of our main characters are gone, other than Katniss and Peter. What they did with Peter in this was just horrible. And then they'd set up all these other characters, Joanna and the guy from District 1, I think it was, in Catching Fire, and then you don't see them till the end of the movie. It's just basically Katniss hanging out in District 13. She goes to a different district, blows up some planes, and she makes some ads. And so this one didn't really do anything, and I don't really like, even in this movie, I didn't like the two people that were sort of in charge. The guy from Catching Fire, and then like the person the president of the rebellion or whatever. And so I found it pretty boring. There wasn't a ton of action, and even when the action scenes are happening, Katniss isn't in them. She's just making ads for the entire movie, and then it is part 1, so there's no payoff to anything. There's no payoff to anything. It ends with like a twist reveal, and that could work, but the twist I am not big on. I don't like what they did with the twist or with Peeta, and so just the worst. Pretty boring, didn't have enough action or anything, and it was very, very bland. Okay, 3rd place here is going to be Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I just finished watching this yesterday. I'm sort of mixed on this. This is the one that I'm mixed on, because some parts of it I'm not big on. How they're handling Peter in the first 2 acts, not too big on it. What they've been doing with still trying to shoot ads, and also with the stuff in the lady trying to take charge and being like, okay, I'm taking charge, sending Peter with him. I wasn't too big on most of the stuff. And then Joanna, who is a huge character in the 2nd movie, just got introduced in the 3rd movie to be left out in the 4th movie. So that was frustrating because I thought she was a really fun and vibrant spice character to have in there with the team, but apparently not. That's not what everybody thought. So yeah, for this one, on the flip side of that, to the good side, it has some really, really cool action. Not as good as in the first 2, but still, it has some pretty cool action with the sludge and the like the faceless white monsters. They sort of reminded me of the monsters from the Avengers movies, except for they look, I would say, even a bit creepier and better. The sacrifices in the movie is good. A bunch of people actually die, whereas Mockingjay Part 1, we didn't really have that much. And then how they end it, even to the last second when Katniss, she has her arrow back ready to kill Snow, but they're restarting the Hunger Games. And you're like, that would be sort of genius. Like, maybe originally the capital was a district and they took over the districts, and it's just a cycle of people rebelling and then restarting the Hunger Games, and rebelling and restarting the Hunger Games, and it never ends. That would have been very interesting. It would have been horrible, but it would have been extremely interesting. But instead of shooting Snow, she shoots the president lady, which was just absolute 10 out of 10. Favorite moment of the entire movie. Just so perfect, because if she didn't, then I would be extremely angry with the movie and everything. It's one of those times where you hate her more than Snow, and I had hate her more than Snow from Mockingjay Part 1. She was just the worst. And so it's so satisfying to see her be killed. And Snow also ripped to pieces, but off screen, of course. So Snow's gone, she's gone. Somebody else is in charge. And then we get to 10 years later, and she's married to Peeta, which that's sort of what I wanted. I don't like what they did with Peter in Mockingjay Part 1, and then half of this in Mockingjay Part 2. But they ended him very well, and with Katniss ending her very well. Another really good character I gotta mention is Woody Harrelson's character. It's great that he sort of hang out with them in District 12. So I sort of like how it ended, but I don't like the first act too much. Before we get into the top 2 here, I don't really like Mockingjay Part 2. Mockingjay Part 1. Mockingjay Part 2 I have mixed feelings on, but overall it's positive. And then these next 2 I really do like. And with that said, coming in second place here is going to be the original Hunger Games. I would say I like the story of this quite a bit, and how it's done with the story, the writing, just this great world building. And I think the only problem is the execution. The shaky cam, the stupidity in some moments, but other than that, I really do love the story here with them. She going to the Hunger Games for her sister, and then just going and surviving and killing, and this giant fight, and then it ends with her and Peeta doing what they do, and just ends. And I really like that. I really like the story, but the problem for me in this is it has way too much shaky cam, and that distracts from the entire movie. I don't know a single person that likes shaky cam. I don't know why they did it in these movies. They did it last year with Snake Eyes, and just the shaky cam just ruins it. Just ruins it. These action sequences, and just when the teens are going all to fight, it just sort of, you can't see a thing that's going on when you actually get into the Hunger Games. There's some scenes where you can see what's going on, but most of the times you cannot see what is going on, which is so frustrating, because this would be very, very interesting to see with, like, what's going on here. These teenagers, are they going to kill each other? Who's going to be killed? Who's going to survive? And then it just, shaky cam, can't see a thing. And so, I still really like the story and stuff. The characters and setting up the world, great, excellent, 10 out of 10 for setting up the world. The announcer guy is so great, just Woody Harrelson, such a great introduction to the character. And so just great world building, introducing us to Peeta and Katniss, and then the shaky cam in the actual Hunger Games is a very frustrating part for me. If it didn't have that, it could possibly be in first. I don't know. But coming in first place is Hunger Games Catching Fire. This is sort of closer for me, but I did think it comes at first because it has better action. And then the characters are a bit fleshed out, and since we've already been introduced to everybody, we don't have to do a bunch of explaining. And it's just great. The announcer guy, this is his best movie. I really like the announcer guy, as he's just fun, insane, crazy, and he's played by this actor. I can't remember his name right now, but he does a great job at that. President Snow is pretty despicable in this, and what they do with getting the 2 people that have won from each district, a male and a female, that are still alive, that is very, very interesting, and that raises the stakes in a meaningful way, because it is the 75th Hunger Games, and so they do that, and so you get a bunch of more people that you actually care about a bit more, for, like, you actually sort of remember them, rather in the first Hunger Games, you're just like, yeah, generic person. These, they have a little spice to them, and sort of you're wondering, are they going to survive? Are they actually going to die? With Joanna, and you're getting to the end, and you're like, Joanna, Peeta, this other guy, and Katniss are still alive, but they'll have to kill each other. And then you have the ending thing where Katniss destroys the games, and it's just pretty satisfying. And how it ends, I don't know, cliffhanger sort of a thing. Not the greatest ending, but it's pretty satisfying to see her sort of take down the games. The action is a lot better, and since the characters have been introduced, it makes that a bit better. So this is coming in first for me. The Hunger Games Interesting watch. First time watching them. I actually really enjoyed them. Other ones that I'm gonna be watching and ranking, the X-Men movies sometime, probably before Multi-Universe of Madness, before I see that. Um, the Maze Runner, I'll probably do a review on for random reviews, and then Planet of the Apes. Probably gonna take a while. Maybe sometime in February I'll rank those because I haven't seen them all yet. So, yep, that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Comment down below your ranking. I think I did a pretty generic ranking. I don't think I had too many insane thoughts on it, but I don't think it's that hard of a choice for me. It's pretty simple how to rank them. No nail biting decisions, but just leave your comments down below. What you think of it, the series as a whole. I enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Braden. This is Max Reviews. Braden out.